Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video, we finished installing the lift and mounted 40-inch tires on Dusty the ecodiesel Rubicon Jeep Wrangler. That same day, after the final touches were completed, Tim from Northridge 4x4 and I met up with Nate at Tahuya to do a quick trail run to test out the Jeep after all of the modifications were completed. In today's video, I will share with you some of the first impressions of driving Dusty with the 40s, including some good and some things I found that needed improvement. Back at the trailhead, for a first shakedown run, Dusty did pretty well, especially on a trail like this. This is more of a wheeling, of course, crawling trail. Since mine is more predominantly an overland rig build, this would be probably like a smaller percentage of my adventures compared to where I'm gonna go camp and overland. Wouldn't have been able to do it without Mr. Tim Lund over here from Northridge 4x4. Great work, man. Dude, this guy exercised a lot of elbow grease and man, hustled it in the last 3 days, putting Dusty together and getting Dusty capable to tackle trails like this.
I still can't believe we put your Jeep on 40s with gears in 3.5 days.
That's amazing. How often do you do builds like that in that short amount of time?
Oh, never, because we're on the camera and you know what it's like shooting step by step.
That's right, yeah, that does take some time too.
That lift would have been 4 or 5 days by itself.
Wow. And here's the thing, okay, so everything that you saw us do, it's not just for Dusty. Like Northridge 4x4 will do that to anyone that wants to build it up like that, right?
Oh yeah.
So even like what we said earlier about the beadlock wheels, not many tire shops will do, but Northridge does do that, right?
We do beadlocks almost every single day. There's a set of beadlocks going out.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, if you're getting ideas from Dusty or any other rigs you saw here, definitely hit up Northridge 4x4. can they contact you too, or?
Of course they can.
Yeah, Tim Lund over there, so he's the man.
And then of course, if they want to see any videos on how-to videos on JLJT, we do a lot on the Northridge Nation or Northridge 4x4 YouTube channel, and you can check those out. We've got over 150 videos now.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of good tutorials there, a lot of great videos, and yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what Dusty can do. Also, I am doing a follow-up over there and going back to Northridge 4x4 because we are changing the front diff cover as well, and maybe some other things down the line.
Maybe some steering.
Maybe some steering. Yeah, I do feel, and I'll talk about that later in the video as well. And Reagan, thank you very much for some of the shots.
Yeah,
You're
no
helping
problem.
out with the shots, and
Yeah, it's awesome to hang out.
likewise, man. Yeah. And you do a lot of the videography for Northridge and stuff?
Yep, I'm the videographer for Northridge, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
40-inch tires on Dana 44s.
On Dana 44s, it can be done with a lightweight vehicle. With the Eventec 44s, I think it's very much noteworthy that there's a massive difference. Like on my TJ, I have a Dana 44 from 76 F-150 that is miles away from what these are. These are like the most efficient axles that have ever been invented as far as the ring and pinions.
Yeah.
It's much less clamping load on the bearings. Like, they're incredible. All the bearings and everything are huge for a Dana 44. So for these, I think that it's doable with someone that has a really nice light foot.
Okay.
You know, with the diesel torque, with how many speeds you have with the low gears, you can break a 1-ton shaft too, on a 40. But with nice light driving, knowing when you can give it that wheel speed or when you need to back off because you're bound up, that is the key between braking an axle and not braking an axle. As soon as you start bouncing, you pull out.
Yeah.
You can't have 1-ton confidence on half-ton axles. You can get really good results with 40s on a Dana or an Eventec 44 with chromoly shafts, which you've already done, and a light foot. I mean, it's doable.
And that's the thing, like, it's not just the 40-inch tires on the Dana 44s. We did have to reinforce it with a little bit, and yeah, and it's fine. And we re-geared it as well. So, and this is the guy that kind of guided me through the whole process as far as what I should get, and it did good on this trail. I think it did fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with you on this rig, but
we're barely scratching the surface. This is you could have done this with this thing stock, but it was a lot easier on 40s.
Oh, totally, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
During this run, I noticed a couple of things I will need to improve. First, the pinch weld in the rear fender was trimmed, but at full flex, there was still some rubbing, so I will need to trim that area a little further. Also, the steering component was fine for the most part, but there were some sections where I noticed that a hydraulic steering assist would have helped maneuver the wheels and tires a bit better over the rocks. Now, granted that it was raining and the rocks were more slippery than normal, which tells me that on a dry day I may have struggled a little bit more. The steering could also use some added stability on highway speeds, as I did notice some play in the steering wheel. Aside from those two items, the Jeep handled the trail really well. I am curious to see how it will perform in some deep snow. Also, on the last video, I stated that the fuel consumption was at around 17 miles per gallon, but after a week of driving on the side streets and highway, the mileage jumped to 18.5 miles per gallon. Not bad at all. I also added a few more mods to Dusty since the last video, which I'll share with you all in the next week's video, so if you haven't subscribed already, please do so now. There are a lot of great adventures planned for Dusty and his 40-inch shoes, so stay tuned. As always, thank you for watching, be safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.